Let me tell you, mid players treat over 30 ping as like the end of the world. So Sumail probably was like, I'm not even going to play if I don't have to play 5 support because, God, anything over 50 is just unplayable. These guys, I remember trying to scrim from Europe, or it didn't matter which continent I was on. You could not get teams from the other to play, even with like 80 ping. And I understand it can be frustrating, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, come on, guys.
I mean, you don't even feel like 70 ping.
That's because, look,
I'm a support player.
You don't feel. You support players over here, you know, clearly don't have the reactions or something. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even know what ping I'm on most of the time. So quickly before we get into the draft, Terry, what do you think the closest region is? Do you?
I agree with Kyle when it comes to China, because I think the Chinese are actually gonna play really, really hard against each other. They're really gonna be competitive, and since I haven't followed them super closely, I think I actually don't know what exactly is gonna happen, but I think they're all pretty close to each other.
Okay, all right, fair enough. You guys stole my answer, but you know, it's hard to say anything other than China, because I mean, China's just such a competitive region all around.
Yeah.
But let's travel back to NA, travel back to the teams we've got playing right now, and travel into this draft. As we currently have C9, they've grabbed themselves, well, they've banned out a Kunkka, a Sansa, and a Clockwork. Meanwhile, Crazy, they've gotten rid of the Void Spirit, the Leshrac, and the Meepo. These are strange bans from Crazy, not the kind of AAs, Nyx Assassins, and other things we're used to seeing, but they seem to be targeting themselves maybe a little bit more. And that first phase Meepo ban, they are respecting Ace.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we talked about, I think, in the previous series, where now that we have a 4-1-1 drafting pattern, you kind of have to take out the cheese picks first off, because you don't want to be in a position where, like, your second banning phase with one ban is on something that maybe 2%, 5% of the time your opponent's going to pick, and it just makes way more sense. If you're not going to play Meepo, just ban Meepo. It just makes sense.
Yeah,
and
Lycan as well.
But SF is really popular now, and I see him doing really well against the Meepos, so I don't know if it's really a hero you want banned out. I guess you can just pick an SF, but so that's kind of weird to me that they ban it in the first phase, even though, like you said, there are 4 bans now in the first phase, but if they want it, they're gonna last pick it, in my opinion. There's no way they take it that early.
What,
yeah, and the Lycan
Meepo?
also is,
Yeah.
I disagree. I think it's a second phaser for sure. It doesn't have to be overall last picked at least, but that's just because I respect Ace's Meepo. I think that it's just because he plays it so well that it turns him, and nothing to slight Ace, but I don't consider him one of the best 5 carries in the world. But when he's on Meepo, you consider like how good he is on that and how good that hero is in certain scenarios. He is S tier all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's one of those heroes which can get better. You know, has an extremely high skill ceiling, as we should say. But this is interesting. So Mirana recently received a buff to her arrow where it's going to do a lot more damage. We have seen a little bit of an increase in Mirana 4s and pubs. I wasn't expecting to see this in competitive games.
To be honest, I've been playing Mirana 4 a lot.
Yeah.
And it looked really good even before these buffs, since they nerfed her, but they didn't nerf the things that she was good for. She kills the range creep, she kills the creep in the woods, she pulls, she pushes in the lane. Those are the things that Mirana is good for. When she gets levels, when she gets Yules, it's still the same hero.
If you think about what Chen wants to do in the first 5 minutes, a Mirana 4 can do everything better. Yeah. You anti-jungle, you arrow a couple hard camps, you hit level 2, level 3, now you're unkillable. You can fire pot shots at mid, land an arrow, that's a kill. Or alternatively, it could be a core. Could be your 1, could be your 3. If it plays up against the Chen lane, what's Chen? You can't harass with creeps. He's just going to arrow them. So you have a lot of options, and it's a very open pick, which is why I like it in this open position. This is something Peter used to do way back when we had that complexity versus optic rivalry. He was always giving it to Pycat in the safe lane when we ran an aggro Chen, but of course it was different times, different metas. But
different era,
yeah.
Indeed. I also think another reason this Mirana might be coming back into popularity is just because so many of her like traditional counters are kind of not that popular anymore. The Legion Commander we don't really see very often, except in extreme circumstances. Abaddon not being an offlaner really that often anymore, and a bit of a, I don't know how
I see it sometimes.
This is a hero that's underpicked. I like Venge quite a bit here, and it's the support counter to AA, in my opinion. You swap him right out of the Ice Blast. What do you do now? You even have that really cool magic resist talent at level 10. You just get so tanky. And even if you kill the Venge, oh, I've got a Spirit now. I'm still providing the aura.
Yeah, it's fun to play as well. You're like, I'm never dead. Amazing. Get to play some Dota.
The side of Cloud9 don't have any wave clear, apart from the Mirana Starstorm, which it's a support Mirana. It's not going to come out that early. This could be some kind of a push pick, like let's go together with the creeps, maybe some heroes that take down the towers. So I'm kind of scared for Cloud9 here.
Yeah, I think it's I don't know. I'm interested to see how this Mirana does, and I definitely rate the AA very, very highly, as a lot of the do seem to be doing, so I'm not worried about them.
I really like the Wraith King ban. It's probably the best core if you were to play with a support Mirana. You get rid of that just easy stun combination, and you're not really as afraid of a Sven, I think, when you have the Venge, because he's so weak against being kited. But that's something I'd be concerned about if I'm crazy here, going up against C9 with the opener that they've revealed. They banned the Veno. Yeah, Morph was also banned in the opening phase, so I could definitely see C9 going for a 4th pick Sven. It's also one of Envy's personal favorites, so a lot of options. So that's the benefit of the AA Mirana, because I know you're locked into it as a 4, but I think it's still 50-50 that it might be a core.
Can be a core?
Yeah, I know Snaking loves playing it, so I wouldn't be surprised. It's any the methodology is any ex-Han player on the core role loves to play Mirana.
Yeah, but how do you itemize now as a Mirana?
I have no idea.
It's impossible as a core. I don't know how you itemize.
I think you could go multitude different ways. You could go even for like an HOD in this game up against Chen. You could go for a Maelstrom, Diffusal Rush, Crystallis.
In my opinion, the hero as a core
Yul.
is very weak until she gets a BKB. She just dies very easy. Even
Maybe
with the 200 HP talent, she dies very, very easy. So that's why I wouldn't like to see her on a core. It's much better on a support to be annoying, to get the Yules, and then the hero is...
I'll give you that, because in theory, you can just get more out of it. Like now you have a Centaur, you have the super big, beefy frontliner, and your Mirana, whatever your position, it's the same hero. You're just going to get a Yules, you're going to maybe get an Ags or a Blink or a BKB or some sort of support items. We've seen Greaves a lot of the time in the past as well. You'd rather just make that your 4 position, leaves you a lot more freedom, because if your offlaner is squishy, there really isn't a way to put any beef into your lineup without sacrificing something somewhere else. You don't really want to pick DK in this patch, I don't feel.
Like I said, I experimented a lot with the Mirana, and you know what second item I get?
Really, you lucky dust.
Yeah, I get the Dagon, second item. Yeah.
And that's why you're sitting on this desk.
Yeah, exactly, and not playing there. Actually, it works really well. The hero lacks damage, and that's how you actually bring heroes pretty low. So that's what I would like to see.
All right,
Okay.
give Misery a bit of a ring-a-ding before the game starts.
The Axe is, in my opinion,
Dagon
useless. The Axe is, in my opinion, pretty useless. Right,
Yeah,
and it costs a lot of
it's-
money, right?
Yeah. It used to be so good, I feel like it's just been like one of those things which is just like, oh, we don't want to see that ever again. Just put it in the bin, forget about it. Ember Spirit's going to come out for Crazy. I don't think there's a big surprise there with, both Skidder and Bryle on the team. Both these guys going to be having a lot of fun on that hero.
That's the perfect pick in this spot. It's so good against all 3 heroes C9 have revealed. And you can play aggressive. Heroes like Chen, you have so much support, you need heroes that can get in and sort of draw the fire, and then you're free to support them. It also gives them tools to just straight up blow up this Ancient Apparition. It's going to be the name of the game. Plus, you have a hard save mechanic in the Vengeful Spirit, so it just complements the draft and counters the opponents quite well.
Yeah, but now I'd like... Is the SF banned?
I don't think so.
I'd like to see an SF here, because then that will force Ember maybe to go for the safe lane. He's not going to do well against the Centaur Mirana lane.
That's a good point. I like that idea as well. Something that forces Ember away from the mid lane is definitely a cool decision here.
Or if they let him play against an SF, you're just going to get ruined. So I really like it here, but they go for the troll.
Alrighty, fun. Troll's that kind of solid carry, which you kind of pick up. It's like, oh, we need a carry which can do a bit of everything. We're going to throw in the troll. I don't really see... I mean, the Venge is kind of not bad at kiting him around, but there's nothing to really kind of ruin his game. He's always going to do his thing and just wail on that lockdown hero.
I could see Bat Rider as a possibility here. I think at this point you just want to do something that just deals with this troll. Either BKB Piercing Disable or some sort of hard save. You could even potentially put the Venge on core and run like a Wyvern as an example for a BKB Piercing Peel along with the heal. You got a lot of options. Really just depends where crazy you want to go with it. This is the critical pick, I think, of a second pick draft.
I really like the Batrider idea. It completely obliterates the troll, both the troll and the A and the lane.
And it's a great matchup against the Centaur if they want to try and swap.
Yeah, they can't do anything. So it's a really, really nice pick. And I guess it can lane both with the Chen and the Venge. It's going to be completely fine. When it gets level 3, it's gonna kill them really easy.
Give me some
well done, boys. Yeah, you're earning your keep here as we get the Bat Rider coming through, and that's going to be a very well telegraphed pick. And you've already talked about the what he does in this draft, so don't need to linger on that. Let's look forward to these final pickups. Then, have we left any holes in the draft for a cheesy pick to maybe slide its way through?
I feel like they have to send the troll mid.
Yep, definitely.
It can do well against the Ember. And against the Batrider, it's just gonna get destroyed. So, and then pick a hero that can deal with the Batrider, whatever it is, be it Jugger, Slark, Lifestealer, something along those.
For C9,
I mean, you have to get something to deal with the Batrider.
I could see that, but
Maybe Void.
where's the synergy with the lineup? Like Void into the AA Blast Arrow sounds cute, but I don't know if that's really repeatable. The cooldowns are too long. This is going to be a fast game. You're up against
true.
Chen Ember Venge. You need something that can play with tempo.
Yeah, that's
a Void that says, okay, 3 minutes, no fighting, guys. Like, Crazy's not going to listen.
Let's see, Final Bounce coming out. Any chance of OD coming out for Crazy here if they want to really throw caution to the wind and just run at Cloud9?
I think you want to complement something. You want to complement this Venge. I want to right-click Tower Hitter. I could see Lone Druid as a possibility. I love this hero. It's not great against Troll, but you have a Batrider. I could see something like an OD, sure, but I just want something, I think, with a little more beef. Because you have Ember and Bat that you're going to sort of, you're elusive, not durable. And I'd like to see them get something that could frontline. Boom. Medusa, the Brile special. I think this is perfect.
And it's actually really good against the Troll. If the Troll uses his ulti, use the Medusa ult, the Troll is just useless. So I really like this pickup.
And speaking of OD, it might have been banned, but now I think it's the pick for C9, assuming it wasn't taken away. But I imagine if you're going Medusa here, you're going to ban it. You're playing against a Mirana. Like the Astral into Arrow combo is just too good, and it makes mid much more difficult to play.
You can send Medusa mid. She does really well against the OD, though.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, that's actually a problem. But I kind of feel
Even
that
with the roaming Mirana?
even with the roaming Mirana, because the Medusa has really long range, right? 600, and then you can't really get in for the Astral at least until you're level 5 with boots. At that point, the TPs can come in, and you're not gonna get the kill.
Okay, I'll give you that. And now you're in this tough spot, right? Because you can't do anything. You need to deal with Batrider. That's a big problem. And you have to deal with the Medusa. It's a really nice way to utilize the second pick lineup and go for a Bristle.
Okay.
This is ambitious. If they get ahead, they might just run straight over this crazy lineup. But I've got to favor the Bat Dusa Chen. Like, I just feel like they've got all the answers here. It's on C9 to play better.
Yeah, it's a very easy draft, a very straightforward draft. This, I don't even know if it's Troll mid, if it's Bristle mid, what are they doing? And none of these heroes, even the Bristle, doesn't do well against the Batrider.
Yeah, and I always love what I like to, a lineup that even a caveman could fully understand. It's like Medusa, you farm, me support, me go kill. Ember, Bat, go kill. Boom. It's a simple 4-1. I think that the players are on heroes they're comfortable with. And again, C9, it just seems a little overcomplicated almost. Where's the setup for the AA?
Where's the setup for the Arrow as well? I mean, what are you going to do? Stomp into Arrow? I'm not
you're gonna goo him. You can give him a cold.
Yeah,
land the
cold
arrow.
feet as well. Where is it? I don't know where any of this is coming from. I think it feels quite disconnected.
But to be fair, if Mirana gets like a fast mech and the Troll Bristle get a little ahead, there isn't much damage on this crazy lineup. If you look at it, not much spell damage whatsoever. They need time to come online.
Yeah.
True, and maybe the Bristol can start running over them, but that's very unlikely to happen.
I think it's closer than we're making it sound. I think this is a 30-70, maybe 35-65 at worst for C9.
Well, 30-70 is not that good of an odd.
Well, I'd say 2 out of 3 isn't terrible. Like, there was that first Navi versus Baited game, which I thought was like 95-5. You could play that game 20 times.
Okay, it's not 95-5, definitely.
Yeah.
But I definitely favor Crazy here for all the reasons that we stated. I really don't see what they're doing with the Bristol. If Crazy didn't have a Medusa, they had some hero that they want to push in faster with, then Bristol would be fine. You would just stand in front of the tower and tank up the damage, repel them from the tower. This way, when the Medusa is going to be in the woods and these 4 heroes hunting, I don't really see the pick working.
Alrighty, well, thank you for your input, gentlemen. Lovely to have you. And, of course, we have a game. So, let's get into it. Cloud9 versus Crazy coming up after this short break.
what lane you go bottom as well. But I think following from the draft discussion that we had with Cloud9 and Crazy, I think the most important thing to note is actually this troll. If he gets that early diffusal blade, he actually eats through both the cores on Crazy. Ember Spirit, Medusa, they don't like this early mana burning hero, so I think it's laning dependent and that kind of post-laning phase, that tempo aggression that we also discussed as well.
Yes, he does. Oh, goodness me. Okay, so let's get into this game. Where are we? What do we do?
Thank you. Save me from this
You're
moment.
welcome. You're welcome. Don't worry. Okay, your knight in shining armor come bursting through the door, kicking down the front layers. And Ace and Paladai coming in and actually trying to take this rune here, but won't be able to do so. Meanwhile, down at bottom, it's getting pretty low to both Snake King and the Mirana here. But no one going to drop for now, and it looks like the bounties are going to be nice and even, so nothing crazy to start things off. Everyone keeping it nice and chill, keeping their heads on their shoulders, as we like to see. Do you think there's a bit of a risk of this one becoming a bit of a, a bit of a bloodbath, but perhaps emotions getting a bit high?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of concern for Cloud9. This early Mirana pick, I was actually thinking that maybe they might be able to flex it between multiple roles, but in the end they just stick to it on its 4, and I think it's just that lack of how do they actually take real team fights. Once Crazy come online, like you have a Bristle v Medusa mid. I think Medusa, as much as Quill Spam might be annoying, you get that early stick, as you can already see, and it's going to be pushing out waves. And yeah, there's a cause for concern. I think Cloud9, we've seen it so many times today. It's that we have to run at them, we have to fight, and if we make 1 or 2 mistakes, then we're already on the back foot, and it's hard to play the map. So it's that post-laning phase momentum that we've discussed so many times.
Yeah, I feel like once the laning phase is over, that's when it's going to go. Like, we need to find out who's going to win. And basically, well, we're going to find out who's going to win in the like, kind of first 5 minutes after the laning phase. Possibly, of course, Dota's not a clear-cut game. Things do happen.
But this top lane is, like, fundamentally, AA Troll is a strong lane. But then when you pair and you're going against, like, a Batrider naturally just plays against his heroes so well. You get the early points in Napalm. Of course, Flame Break now, through multiple patches, it's been reduced, so you can go back to the Firefly build. Again, the recent patch has reduced its move speed, but you're still going to be seeing a lot of aggression coming out of these side lanes from Crazy. But Misery, as a player, he's always one to opt to try and play, not unconventional, but you wouldn't expect them to really be played in said roles. And like he doesn't really care what hero he's playing, as long as it's got like a purpose in the game. And you can see here, he's got the Mirana to try and deal with this Chen, but it gets to a point of, have you put yourself in the position where, sure, you're countering the Chen, but post that, what are you doing in the game? Where's your setup for this arrow? How, like, you have the stomp into arrow, we got maybe, sure, you got the invis for the disconnect, but come on now, there's going to be detection, clearly. There's plenty of sentries, plenty of dust on the market right now, so they can always buy them up. And I think the biggest factor for Cloud9 is really how can they enable this Mirana to feel like she's got presence in the game. There's additional 2 damage coming out from the latest patch. Whoa, watch out.
Literally murdering everyone. Look at Skidder, he can't even stand the right... No, it's absolutely fine, to be honest.
I think Misery can't stand the right clicks right now.
No, he's the one man to back out. 2 damage. Not quite enough to make that trade worthwhile, but there we go. Meanwhile, in the top lane, they're going to throw out a stun to Ace. 5 stacks on him right now. If Kezu can get close enough, they could cause a bit of danger, but they can't get on top of him.
Move speed change. The percentage, I believe it was like 3 to 4% maybe. I can't, don't hold me to that, but it was a very small change to move speed during Firefly. So yeah, small changes could have been the difference between him being out of the lane or at least a kind of tangoing back up, at least, as you see there. Back to full HP, doesn't really care too much about that small bit of aggression. Oh, Misery and Courier Snipes.
Yeah, loved it, doesn't he?
You know the worst thing actually was when 5 Couriers got introduced, that beautiful stat about how many Couriers pros have killed. That was a beautiful stat that we had, and then it's been ruined. Ruined by the patch.
Gone forever.
Courier deaths are kind of boring nowadays, you know? Like,
yeah. I mean, you know, sometimes instinct takes over and like, oh my god, they killed it. Oh wait, it's
like, unless it's got like a BKB on it or like something interesting, but these pre-10 minute kind of Courier kills, congrats, you got 50 gold. It's still very worth it, by the way, but it's just not as interesting.
It's not, is it? So, Misery.
Fun fact, we actually, this courier was made, this Misery courier was made during our bootcamp in Poland coming up for TI when we were doing the qualifiers. And yeah, we shopped around the market and this was the one he settled on.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
So went to some courier shopping.
Yeah.
Misery going for this regen rune here, and he is going to take it. I mean, he's not going to get anything for it, but you've taken it away from him.
He's just being annoying. He's just being,
Yeah, exactly.
And this is what you kind of want from your 4. It's like that 4-minute rune, it's that active rune, what's it going to do? And nice to see that he's moving around and playing around that timing. And you can see the bristles now moves bottom. just trying to soak up and not like he's a level 5 Bristle against this Ember Spirit. Like Ember Spirit's level 3, so you're gonna have this Bristle be able to win this lane. Mirana's soaking up mid. Centaur, I would assume, should be pushing out of a bot and then maybe coming into mid. But right now, Misery's soaking up this XP.
I don't know what Cloud9 are doing right now.
We're in new times, new depths. You know,
Sure.
like this is a new team. They're diversifying their play, but. If we have a little glance at the mini map,
You're saying they're like, yeah, I'm not really enjoying mid. Misery, you want to go mid? Yeah, sure.
yeah,
I'll try
sure.
mid.
I gotta enable the
Okay.
Mirana some way, no, but I think you can see now he's now moving potentially back to the lane. He went bottom, a little bit of pressure, gets his bounty rune. I'm not saying it's good, just saying what happened.
Yep, that is our jobs after all. So Medusa having a pretty good time and pretty good start to this game. No first blood as of yet either. A pretty quiet laning phase. I think that favors Crazy a little bit. They're definitely the ones looking for the tempo here. Cloud9, they need a strong start.
Yeah, it's all about this. I think the troll for Cloud9, it's this Diffusal Blade. If they get this early Diffusal, E just diving mid, just trying to be annoying.
This is extreme.
Just like killing the courier, yeah.
Misery. Courier assassin numero uno.
But being annoying, that's the clear factor here. They're not really. This won't transition to anything. It's quite hard to kill this Medusa, especially when you have the TPs coming in.
They're being annoying, but are they actually...
The best thing here is actually they forced the Venge TP bottom, which might give a little bit of breathing room for this top lane.
Yeah.
But if you have a quick glance on the minimap, guys, the lane is pushing in, so it doesn't really matter because Bat's still lapping up the farm. The other key thing to know, actually, Mirana timed this rotation into the 5-minute catapult just to get rid of the catapult quickly, simplify that. Let's just make life easy. Even though Bristle pushes out the lane, it's kind of what you want to do on a Mirana. If you're not going to be bottom, might as well try and take away something. And now there's aggression top. You got this double wave. The Venge TP'd out. Maybe a little bit of pressure, but still, Kezu's going to love life right now as an offlaner, getting multiple waves coming in. It's going to be a good time for him.
Now starting on to Brawl here. Brawl going for the TP out. Do they have any cancel? They do not. No arrow available in Misery, so see you later, Brawl. Got TPing to that tier 2 though, not all the way back to base, so won't be much time wasted. Is this enough? Shutting down the Medusa this way? Oh, snaking. Yeah, he's chilling. He's just vibing at the bottom lane.
You say he's shutting down, but you're not really shutting him down right now. 40 CS, he's
loving
hitting. Yeah, he's hitting the jungle. Like, you don't really care too much about this early aggression. It's about stemming the bleeding so that once that aggression comes in, you can capitalize on the mistakes they make. Cloud9 can never really turn and how he gets first blood. There we go. But yeah, Cloud9, it's really hard if they don't play off their tempo, their aggression. They don't really play that well together. And
Kezu getting blood on Pylai Die as well as he just kind of burns away to the flames here, and now they're starting on to Ace. Ace has got those whirling axes, and with Stampede gets himself away, turning around for a bit of aggression. Look at these two heroes here. It's a 2-on-1 though. Nobody TPing in to help him out here, just showing a bit of aggression, but in bottom lane, that's where the real action is happening. A Skidder gets brought down by Snaking, and Cloud9, they'll find themselves this and that.
yeah, they're moving around. Like, you have to consider in most lineups, like laning phase is probably the one moment where you don't need to play that well as a team. We saw that actually at the summit as well, where Cloud9, they played their lanes, they were right, they didn't look horrendous at that point, but it's when they had to play as a team, that's when it kind of crumbled. Obviously, the new formation, players aren't really in line with each other, don't know how they want to play the game. So,
So we're just using a courier to be able to farm both these stacks at the same time. But
pretty good, but Misery, oh, beautiful.
Misery senses as a courier somewhere in the world undefended. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Pylai Die's in trouble, getting burnt away, and ice does melt when it's on fire, but not quite enough. The creep! Oh, the creep's going to finish the job, but Pylai Die does turn around to help the kill onto Moon Meander. But Aoi kind of grab him. Meanwhile, Kezu going on a journey through the tree lines, getting himself to safety, and pretty even trade in the top lane, I would say.
It's an even trade, and that's what you're kind of happy. If your trolls are able to hit creeps throughout all this kind of chaos, look at the net worth right now.
Misery? Misery's got so much gold.
Yeah, he's been moving around the map. He's throwing out those cheeky arrows. We're not seeing it, but he's obviously going to be arrowing some of these big creeps. That's why he hasn't had it at some of these moments, and he's having good laning presence. You don't expect the Mirana to really be that impactful, but he's sniped, I think, now 3 couriers at this point. He's been able to secure the region rune, so Medusa can't have a free lane. So he's doing a lot of work, close to mech as well, especially because it's so cheap now. It's quite easy. Mana boot, yeah, he's having a pretty good game.
This is mighty impressive. I'm not sure what to make of this. They kind of just did some magic between the middle and bottom lane, and all of a sudden, Misery, they've got an extra core.
Yeah.
That's how the magic trick and a half.
There's the arrow.
Oh, Skidder getting caught out by a nice long arrow here, but unfortunately doesn't seem to be enough to bring him down here. Not enough damage in the tank for Cloud9, and they will back themselves away.
But yeah, the moves being made right now, it just allows you to get this, like, you're all about this formation of, oh, Pile died, buddy, no, come on, take a breather, yeah.
It's okay, he's okay. Moonlight Shadow's going to come out. Dual purpose here, actually, as they're both coming in towards his middle lane. Morana maybe looking for a setup onto Brile here. As we mentioned before, they're going to have to use the Stomp here to set up for the arrow, and will be able to do so. Arrow going to come flying through. Ace, Pylai, they're all here. Is enough to bring down Brile. He's run out of mana, and he's run out of health as well. Brile's going to get taken down. Cloud9 are making work.
What a good, yeah, it was such a good movement. Like, when you look at the net, again, focusing on the net worth right now, you don't really care if Medusa's up top for now, because you have that ability of Bristle, Centaur running at you, and even Troll. Like, it doesn't care. Like, if you've only got one core farmed on the side of Radiant, it does not matter. These heroes are so good on Dire to run at you. It's that post part. And here, look at it. Here's the demonstration.
We destroyed.
They just don't care. Kezu committing here, this is potentially scary for him. The Bristle with maybe stick charges. No, he doesn't.
He does have a couple, but it's not enough
neutral
to keep him alive.
creep.
What?
Calculated. That was the smart. Yep, I factored that into my thing. I was like, you know what? E's fine. You know why? Neutral creep.
Gonna get denied. Yep. Sometimes you just know it. But yeah, that's not going to cost them so much then. Actually, I thought that was actually going to be a bit of a problem, but the neutrals come in and make it not that bad. And now a 4K gold advantage at the 10-minute mark for Cloud9, which I think when we're looking at these two drafts, definitely looks good for them.
It's what they need for sure.
Yeah.
It's what they need. If they didn't have this lead and it was even, it'd be such a struggle. I think Ember moving around the map, connecting. It was mentioned already, there's no real sustainable, like, good lockdown, and when you're playing against Medusa, Ember, both these heroes, you want to be able to lock them down for a good enough time. And this explosive damage from Cloud9, it doesn't really exist.
Swap in, Ace in some trouble. He does have the double damage room, but they've got more than enough damage to sink into him right now, and a knock top's going to be used. He's going to try and pop the ultimate here and try and make something happen, but the Stone Gaze coming out in direct response to that, keeping him still long enough, creating the distance here, and Ace will get dropped in the middle lane. Meanwhile, up at the top lane, though, Owie, he's going to drop in response, and now Skidder, and I don't think he's got many options here. A very slow Remnant making his way to the left here. Envy continuing to chase, and Icebard's going to come in as well, and will find the Ember. He's still trying to make his way around, but Misery predicts it. Starstorm is going to connect. The big damage comes down, Skidder gets dropped, and another kill found for Cloud9. Now 7 kills on 3.
Is he back? Is Misery back?
I mean, he's playing like he wants to be back, that's for sure.
Absolute
this man,
corker of a game right now from Misery. EE, not so much, and the Troll obviously against Medusa, we saw it in the mid lane. It's probably the saddest interaction, I think. A Troll ultimate via Medusa ultimate. Medusa's going to win every time.
Just turn yourself to stone.
Yeah. Medusa, level 11, going towards the Yasha, trying to itemize for this farming build, wants to be able to just move around the map quickly, get to that early Manta, and just secure her game. Right now, it's this pressure. It's try and put this Venge or this Bat just in front of you, just to prevent this Medusa feeling super pressured. 5k up, 12 minutes. Cloud9 are going to want to look to move around the map, try and close out some of these towers and pin them into this corner. So the critical part of the game is just trying to make the map feel small. And when you have multiple cores all wanting to farm, Bat wants to farm jungle, Ember wants to maybe go for Picos, Medusa wants to farm. If you have that disconnect between your team, then it's going to look hard for Crazy. And this is what this Bristle pick does. It gives you that momentum to play off. But then again, you also play off that momentum, it puts you in weird spots. And he renowned for
no stranger for strange spots here as they surround him, start being into this Bristle back. He's getting a decent amount of spikes off here, but it's not going to be enough to turn anything into a fight here as Envy does get dropped. Owie might be the return kill in the middle lane. It's not much, but they'll take it. Now I'm going to give us a life. And this tower should be threatened a little bit here. There are a couple of creeps around, but they will be able to get this tower. There's a lot of heroes coming in. They look like they want to defend this one, Crazy.
Yeah, important thing actually is the difference between Cloud9 in the Summit and now is actually EE played mid and the Troll played side lane. So when this team initially formed, the perception was it'd be Ace carry with EE going back to his mid lane. And during the Summit, it was Ace playing mid and then EE playing the safe lane. So it's nice to see potentially that they've used those 10 games that they lost at the Summit and gone, you know what, let's rethink our process. Let's actually put our guys in the skill set. Because let's be frank here, Eternal Envy, he likes to make some space, he likes to make some questionable plays, and maybe in the mid lane, that's the better way to execute it. Let's not put you on the position 1. So yeah, I'm enjoying this, right? This is it's refreshing to see EE back in mid.
Sure. And I think, you know, I don't know if this is the case, but maybe they're just looking for a bit more flexibility in their team, or maybe this is a long-term fixed draft. As Moon's going to get jumped on here. They popped the spot, and they're going to swap it.
No!
What are you doing, Moon Meander? That's your... Okay. All right. That's fine. Moving on.
You're both dead now.
They're both dead.
Oh, no.
Questionable swap, I would say.
The moment of silence for Kez.
Yeah, let that one sink in a bit. Okay, well, Kezi, I'm sure he had some choice words there for his teammate.
Get ready.
Get ready. Get ready. I'm about to...
Get ready for that post-game review, because you're getting called out. But no, Cloud9 really setting the tempo right now, and Medusa, only with the Yasha, it's hard to see how Medusa actually has presence within the game right now, just because even though she's sitting at 6k, she's already a K behind Troll. Normally you expect Medusa to be top of the net worth, and then even if she gets to 10, 15k net worth, she's got the items she wants. Look at the Ember. Right now, Skeeter's kind of role-playing EE, you know? Like if EE was playing with these guys, this is exactly how the net worth would be. So there must be this aura within this team that Skeeter's just kind of picked up on. So
yeah, he's learned from the master.
Maybe EE wasn't the problem. Maybe it was like the combination of like Aoi, Moon Meander, and these lads.
Stun out in the middle lane, and they're going to go for the swap here. Doesn't look like they are. Snaking going to get himself away. Don't want to swap enemies, do you, Moon?
I like the formation that Cloud9 are presenting right now. We kind of memed on it earlier that the Bristle moving bottom, and now you got the Centaur and the Troll. Like all cores were coming mid to kill the Medusa. Like they're not afraid to sacrifice pushing out side lanes to ensure that they have the core advantage when they make these aggressive moves. And it's one of those principles that once you can develop that, it's paired with the aggressive vision, it's kind of hard for Crazy to make moves on the map because they're always going to be met by multiple cores going into these kind of choke point areas.
And now we have that Diffusal Blade finished up on the Troll Warlord. A big timing here for Cloud9.
This is so scary right now.
Yeah, this is huge.
Like, Diffusal against Medusa, Medusa does literally nothing at the early stages. Of course, you have the ultimate to maybe kind of connect onto the Troll, but if the Troll doesn't use ultimate, you can always then turn around and play off that. So it's the kind of the battle of who presses their ult first. If Medusa presses ult first, Troll's going to always back off. If Troll ults, Medusa's like, thanks for the free ultimate, it's going to be good fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a Yasha as well, you know. This is a 16-minute Yasha and Diffusal on Ace here. He's very much in the money.
Cloud9, though, they are currently pushing through vision, just trying to backdoor this tier 1, trying to flush out Crazy from this top side of the jungle. This move here, the concept is we push them out of the top side, and then we force them back into the bottom side of the jungle, where we've already got vision set up. As you can see from the ward on the screen here, EE just making space, forcing TPs, and it doesn't really matter that he's getting gone on now. Even if he dies, it's like going to take so long. And the movement already, you got Centaur, Mirana, AA already moving across the map. And this is the idea. You flush him out of top and instantly run into your vision bottom. So Cloud9, they've really, I think they've improved so much recently. And as you can see here, this is just beautiful Dota right now.
Oh, they're going to clip him. Oh, but no, they actually drag him off the other side. Oh, no. Kezu, he's just going to get destroyed by us in the backlines. Meanwhile, Stone Gaze not doing a whole lot. Pylai might lose his life, but Misery opting to cliff himself instead. Pouncing up there, having some fun. Meanwhile, Ace, they're finding Brawl. They've got rid of the mana. Moon Meander is going to get a nice swap off and trying to save the day. Looks like they have kept Brawl alive, but at the cost of 2 other heroes. And Cloud9, they lose no one for this. And this is so aggressive. They haven't even taken the tier 2 here yet.
But they don't
go for this rotation.
But they don't need to right now. But like, of course they're going to, right? Let's not be silly here. But the idea is you just need to play aggressive. There's this sweeping motion from Cloud9. You need discipline. You need to understand where your heroes are on the map. Because if you try and make this move without the knowledge of a certain core, it leads to just feeding profusely. And Crazy, they don't have the heroes to deal with this sweeping motion. So Cloud9 identifying that, playing off of the Diffusal timing on Troll. Like, if they'd made this move 3 minutes earlier, it would have been devastating, potentially. But you wait for your items, you make the move, and then what can Crazy do? Ember has no net worth, 6k, Batrider 6k. This Batrider, you discussed it on the panel, it's meant to be a hero that's going to dominate the laning phase. Where's Troll going to lane? What's going to happen? Oh, they just stuck the Troll in the lane. He went even, he had decent farm. AA was that bridge factor. You can never connect onto the Troll if you have the double slow. So even though it looked on paper a good Batrider game, in reality, he could never execute in lane. You're meant to get kills in this situation, but you've got to avenge 4. Where's your, like, what are you going to do? The Troll's going to play from range. Like, I think it's just an oversight. Crazy thinking too much on one pick being the solution, and then in reality, no, it wasn't as good as it was. So it's Crazy going to have to just calm down a little bit, make sure that they can try and get out on the map. And if we quickly glance at the mini map, everyone, there's no vision right now on Radiant. There's one deep wall on the top side for Crazy, but that doesn't help them farm safely. Cloud9 just moving freely.
As well.
Oh yeah, that's a little, I didn't see that.
Seeing that little peanut over there?
There we go, there's the vision. See, like, it's nice, but you got no jungle vision.
Yeah.
You want to be jungling right now, trying to come back, and this vision, sure, it's good for maybe that sweeping motion that we just discussed earlier, but right now, it's not going to help you from these pickoffs. And a free Roshan from Cloud9, good times.
And now Ace just wailing away at Roshan, taking down that HP. Is there any response from Crazy? You already know the answer. They don't have the damage right now. This is something which made very clear. They don't have damage at this early stage in the game, and if Cloud9 just catapult through this, it's really hard to see how they fight them. And Medusa needs more. She needs a lot more. I think we're going to be looking at a bit of a high ground defense here from Crazy in the next 2 to 3 minutes as Moon going for an adventure here, trying to see something.
But this is what I mean about the vision right now. You lose Roshan, and even though you have these two wards, you have no presence. They just sweep through. They just don't care.
No, Brawl, they jump on top and Stampede being used. Blink and a long, long arrow coming in from Misery. They don't even need the Ice Blast. They bring down Brawl. Mama is dead, and now they can do what they want.
They just smell it. They're like, chase him, kill him. Like, Cloud9 just do not care about anything on Crazy right now. They're just running across the map, but the key point is they're running, but like holding hands. They're creating I'm just enjoying. It's such a good improvement in the last like couple weeks, honestly, from Cloud9.
Sure, absolutely. It looks like they've figured some things out, and KheZu is going to be able to get off this TP here, get himself to the fountain, and keep himself alive. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do much with his Medusa death, but still, just whacking her down that net worth chart is important enough.
But let's think about Crazy in the way back into this game. They're 11k down, 20 minutes. You're the Batrider. He's already got the bots. He's going to be able to push out these lanes quite freely. Of course, the key thing here, your bots don't give you 2 TPs because now they work off your main TP. Moon Meander getting stomped up. See ya, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing. It's just so hard to show on lanes, and I think the novelty of Batrider has fallen off, where simply you're meant to be able to push out your lane, TP back. Now you don't have that feature. Moon Meander's trying to push out mid with his Wave of Terror, but you just get instantly jumped. Like, you don't have a lot of stuns on Cloud9, but if you do get stunned, you're probably going to die to the stomp arrow combo, unless you press your Manta.
Long jump in from Snaking there, and doesn't really get anything. Brawl down to about half mana, but full HP for the time being, and he's going to be able to just plonk himself on this high ground and ward off Cloud9 for the time being. So they'll get themselves into other situations. I mean, Envy's already pushing out top due to this annoying Chen, which I would say Aui's been doing a good job in keeping this top wave pushed in a lot. It's causing a little something for Cloud9 to have to worry about. I mean, they can't just 5-man down mid.
Oh, one lane is pushed in. Oh, I don't think Cloud9 give it to hoots what this Chen's doing right now. They're having... Just look at where Crazy are based in right now. You've got 4 heroes holding hands, singing Kumbaya in the base at 22 minutes. This is a... Like, they're meant to be the ones farming right now and trying to, like, bridge to that 30-40 minute mark with a couple items and all cores, but they can't because E's running around like a madman, doesn't really care if he dies or not. You got this troll who's already got all the items to deal with them. This is kind of like, I want to say, the classic term would be like the Hail Mary smoke, where they want to try and move out of base, but this is a key smoke to try and get some foothold on the map.
Yeah,
they need, like, E's doing his own thing, let him do, like, Ember's drawing heroes top to allow for this smoke to generate some movement to get some position. Like, this is really good actually from Crazy having this split com. If you had all heroes moving together, it'd be really easy for Cloud9 to react. So at least Crazy are making some of the right moves to try and open up the map that is critical right now. And, but Moon Meander dying, come on, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sack. Although Bryle's here as well, and they have this Batrider coming on over for Crazy here, so they're actually going to try and take this fight. Moon Meander running low on HP, tries to go for the swap, won't get it off, so the Stone Gaze coming out from Bryle. Ace did use his ultimate, so he's frozen solid. Can they bring him down? Well, might be able to, but I believe he has the Aegis anyway, so he continues fighting on through it, and he survives. The mech comes out. Bryle's out of mana. Bryle's actually going to go down before Ace even dies once. Oh dear. Crazy losing 2 heroes and backing themselves out. Try not to lose any more. KheZu on the run and is going to be safe for the time being.
Just because you walk somewhere doesn't mean you own that area. I feel like if Moon Meander was able to maybe just tank the gank there, I feel at this point you should be very much aware of how Cloud9's playing. They're pushing in one lane, forcing you to then feel like you have to farm the other side of the jungle, and then you get moved at. And I think we've identified that. I'm sure Crazy has, and I think you need to put up your sacrifice. Like, who are we going to put in? Chen? Sure. Venge? Sure. Let's put up one of our supports, tank a couple ganks. Like, Cloud9, if they're going to have to commit at least a stomp or an arrow to kill you, or at least a troll getting into that position. But, yeah, I think They just need to somehow let lanes push in, let them Medusa farm the safe farm, and then if you can do that, it's going to be potentially a good time. But this playstyle coming from Crazy, it's we hug our base, we move out of our base, we then die, we're back to our base. It's really rough.
Yeah, trying to kind of desperately delay the game and find themselves some kind of entry. Is Brawl going to go for a rapier or anything like that after his Manta?
He dies so quickly.
It's hard to see it happening, but at the same time, I'm feeling like they're running out of options in this game. 15k gold advantage.
Realistically, this game, he would have Manta, Butterfly, maybe the Rapier, pair that with an Aegis, and they'd be able to make moves. You have the Ember with a BKB, but now you hear the lasso going on.
Dragging out the Bristleback right now. Envy bored out of position. They're trying to get in front of him with the Stone Gaze, but the arrow, it catches onto Bryle. Snakey jumping into the backline as well, trying to control him up. This huge Ice Blast comes in as well. Envy just comes running back into the base, and they're on the run. Crazy, they're scattered. They're like sheep running from the rules right now, and Bryle's going to get swapped out, but it doesn't even matter. He gets dropped. Mimianda going the same way as well. Aoi heading in the same direction. 3 heroes in the grave, and just like that, the good games are going to get called. Game 1 in 25 minutes. Cloud9 chicken every single box they need to close this one out and find themselves this victory in the first game here.
Yeah,
You look stunned.
I'm just proud of my boys Cloud9.